People, welcome back to Fresh from the Field Fridays. I'm your host today, Patrick Kelly. Now, Dan is still off on his adventure in the San Francisco wholesale market. If you've seen him on LinkedIn, he's with What a Tomato, everyone. So guess what? Last week, he went ahead and talked about some potatoes. He talked about some tomatoes. He also talked about some juicy crunch tangerines. So everyone, Dan will be back next week. He's got a couple interviews already lined up. So let's go ahead and get this episode started. Thanking our sponsors, which is Buck Naked Onions, Equifruit, that's right, Sunrays, and Bell Harvest. Now, one thing, everyone, as I'm traveling, I'm coming to you from Woodlake, California today, and I had to stop at some grocery stores. And when I did, I noticed one thing. Apples were on sale throughout all the grocery stores, everyone. So we got to talk about that because Bell Harvest apples, I've still been trying to find. And as we'll talk about with our guest today, about where we can find some of these in grocery stores. So obviously was looking for that sweet tango, everyone. That's right. The harmonious blend of the two flavor-packed varieties of the Zestar and the Honeycrisp. Was definitely looking for one of those. The Evercrisp apple, sweet, juicy, and firm. That's right. Developed in the Midwest and in the Midwest, everyone. Michigan apple. So Evercrisp is on the list of one to find. And then the last one, Dan said it, the Smitten. Okay, now the Smitten is tart, it's tangy, and it's full of sweet juice, just what we want in every apple. As my son Ty says, it's got to be crisp. It's got to have a crunch. So everyone, bringing it back to Fresh from the Field Fridays, let's get our first co-host on today, who is a local around here, Michael Chavez. Michael.
Hey, Pat. How's it going? Glad to have you out in Woodlake, man.
I thought it would be great that we still do this, even though you're just in the other room. You've got a different view than I have. I've got the line running behind me. We've got the groves to the side of us. And we said, you know what, we're still going to do this live, but why sit next to each other when just if we were at a booth, you'd be sitting across with a different camera on you. So you're literally just sitting across from me.
Exactly. We just have one nice wall partition between us. That's it, man.
That's really all it's going to be. So let's go ahead and get on our third co-host, which, again, no stranger to the show, same as you, Mike. He was on last week, and he's blowing up on LinkedIn, everyone. Everybody's starting to follow his posts. They're starting to follow what he's got going on. He was doing Mushroom Mondays. Let's bring back Ross, the produce boss. There
What's
he
up,
is.
gentlemen?
What's up, my friend?
What
It's
is
the produce
going on
dad.
there, Ross?
Back
Produce
together
dad.
again. We're back.
Back again. Yeah, man.
Ross is back.
Ross is always
Tell
back.
a friend.
Guess who's back? Guess who's... Okay, stop. Seriously. we got stuff to talk about, everyone. It's Fresh from the Field Fridays. Dan is still at What a Tomato. That's right, in the San Francisco produce market. So it's us again.
We're just leading up to Dan being back next week.
Oh, Dan's got a lot to cover when he gets back. And I think we're covering a lot of the fun stuff. But one of the things that we are going to cover, everyone, is, what's kind of happening. Last week, we talked about, coming off of Valentines Day, coming off of the Super Bowl. We had Ash Wednesday. Heck, I tried to go to In-N-Out Burger with Mike today, and he's like, hey, bro, sorry, no fast food. And I was like, it's because of Lent. He's like, exactly. So I'm like, okay, all right. So again, coming off some of the items from last week into this week, as I was out in the grocery store, guys, coming up from Los Angeles, there was 3 consecutive items that I saw on sale this week. And that was the the California Navel Orange, right? At like 99 cents a piece. We had apples on sale, red apples, a lot of different red apples on sale at 99 cents a piece. And then avocados, which then came in for the steal, guys, at $3 for $1. So, big items over here.
Though? How big were they?
Decent size. I mean, they weren't a small, tiny avocado. They were a decent size avocado. So, coming off the Valentine's Day week, I think there's some real good sales out there that I saw here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I've seen some sales here. Mostly it's around, the bag citrus. So $3.99 for Caras, Nabels on a 4-pound bag, and also Minneolas, Tangelos. There also is one retailer that's doing a 1 pound bag of peels, buy one, get one this weekend.
Buy one, get one.
That's a good
Yes.
deal. That's not bad. Those BOGOs are always nice.
I've seen a lot of sumos too, loose and bags. So the best value is at a local retailer for a bag of sumos, 4 pieces, $3.99. So it's basically $1 a sumo, which is a great value.
That is really good. Pat, if you look out our window here to the west, you can see a sumo ranch right down the road, man. Just
I every time I pass that corner where the sign is, I always say, "Oh, that's a Deco Pond ranch right there. That's a sumo ranch." Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, you're correcting me. You got the Decopon. You're right. You got the variety
So,
specific, man.
well, why don't we do this, Mike? Why don't listen, everyone? We are coming to you fresh from the field, like Woodlake. We're with citrus. One of the things that I pride my platform on is talking real things. And so one of the things that Mike and I laughed about, we're going to let Mike give a little citrus update from California. But everyone, like, I'm in the stores, like, I'm seeing what's happening. It's raining out in California. Like, there's a lot of things. And I just keep seeing in the news that everybody's like, promote citrus. Let's go. Keep going. Hy-Vee displays, big stuff, right? But, right, they're not talking about all the things that are happening behind the scenes to make sure it gets to that point too, Mike. And I know that you and I were even talking about this, about what the extra quality steps are. What we have to do when a rain market hits. Do the even consumers know about brown rot or clear rot, or what the heck is thrift, everyone? So I think this is a great time, Mike. Let's go ahead and let you give a little bit of an update on the California citrus in just the terms of quality, quantity. I mean, heck, just learning about what you told me on golden nuggets earlier today, bro. So this is your time, man. We're going to give you a couple of minutes before we cut to break.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, as you saw, Pat, you landed here in California, in Southern California on Saturday. It was raining. So we've had, intermittent storms coming in the last 2-3 weeks, I believe. And I mean, we're seeing it countrywide, here in the Central Valley, in this growing region, it's prime time for navel oranges, a lot of the mandarins, lemons, gold nuggets, miniolas, grapefruit, everything's really going full steam right now. Eating quality is phenomenal. Mother Nature decided to make sure she threw us a curveball with this rain, which, creates some of the R words you said, the brown rot, the sour rot, a lot of the clear rot. At least here in our walls, we're making sure that we're utilizing the human element. A lot of hand grading, a lot of human element grading that's involved here at Golden Star, as well as at the packing stations, whether it's going into a grade for a bag, to go into a bag and then into a box or into a bulk carton. And that's the same for navels, lemons, miniolas, any of the items that we handle. Caracaras right now, I know a fan favorite, one of your favorites, Pat. Everything's eating fantastic. We're just having to grade everything a little harder. So it's really important, that we follow our processes to make sure we get that pristine piece of fruit, to the end user and to the consumers. As you know, it doesn't exactly leave the dock and go straight to a storefront. We've got some trucking there involved. We usually go through a DC and some kind of distribution center, and eventually it makes its way to a store and then to the storefront for the consumer. So we're just being really conscious, and I'm sure industry-wide, we've got to change up our dance card a little bit, be a little more extra cautious, maybe slow our pace on how fast we're running product, and make sure that we're taking every precaution possible. So, that's kind of the protocol side of it. But as far as items available, like right now is citrus prime time. Every variety is going. Everything is eating well. We've had a phenomenal eating quality across the board. And everything's looking good, man. We're seeing navels. They're just eating phenomenal. We're hitting bricks 12 to 14, no problem. We market high bricks and heirloom programs. Everything right now is hitting high bricks. So everything's great there. Carrots are eating phenomenal. Miniolas are coming in hot. Aside from some of the cosmetic damage and some of the challenges with working in wet conditions, everything's looking great, man. Everything's looking solid. So, from a consumer standpoint, go grab a bag of any citrus. Seriously, like everything is good right now. Get into your local store, take advantage of some of these promotions, and really just get some citrus out in front of you, cut it open, peel it, do whatever you got to do. get it going.
I love it. I love it. He's like, get it going. You know, I popped up a couple pictures too. You know, one thing that I've been stressing is when you talk about living in Florida, you know, Mike, earlier, we talked about like the scarring on the fruit, and they try not to focus on that. But at the end of the day, the fruit inside is still amazing, right? So, you know, as you look at this, you know, we might see imperfections, but this is all still amazing fruit. All of it is still great fruit to eat, great fruit to juice. And then if you look at the next one, like I showed, is like, look at you can kind of tell a little bit more of the difference, right? You can kind of see the beautifulness of it. So everyone, we're going to cut to a quick break. Then we're going to get back. Ross is going to lead us off when we get back. So, but before we cut to commercial, let's see some of the process here at Golden Star for just a couple seconds.
I'm Carl Fiadini with Walk and Talk, the restaurant life. If you follow the show, thank you. We really appreciate the support. If you don't follow the show and you're a foodie or a chef or you're into the restaurant world, this is your home. Check us out. We sincerely appreciate it. All about the food. We're filming chefs, their food creations, in the best establishments near you. All right, so let me tell you where you can find us. We're on YouTube, we're on Newsbreak, we're all over the internet. We're also streaming on your TV with Roku, Android TV. You can find us on the Amazon app, and very soon, Apple TV.
Come on! As we all know, traditional plastics do not rapidly degrade. If not properly recycled, they build up in landfills, pollute our environment, and ultimately disrupt our ecosystems. As a leader in the packaging industry, Severin is excited to introduce BioAble Solutions, the newest addition to our family of high-performance packaging. Enabled with bioassimilation technology, our BioAble Solutions products are 100% recyclable and uniquely formulated to fully degrade in both marine and terrestrial environments, leaving behind no microplastic waste. BioAble Solutions by Severin is a true sustainable option for the everyday consumer that directly addresses plastic and food packaging sustainability. High-performance packaging in a responsible format.
Welcome back to the Produce Industry Podcast, everyone. It's always great to hear from Dynamite sponsors creating dynamite content. Every time I see Walk and Talk, it gets me hungry every single time. And I always love how they just put that shrimp, you know, right in the pan very, very nicely. So gets me hungry. Even though I might have just had lunch, I still want more. Well, everyone, let's welcome back our guys, Michael Chavez and Ross, the produce boss, Nelson. Hey, guys.
What's going on?
Well,
that was a good break. That was a good break.
It was good. We got to see, you know, Mike, two of the ladies outside, obviously grading some fruit. You know, that's part of the line. And I think one of the human elements that Mike talked about was right there, and we got to see it very brief. As Mike says, you know, some of the people at the packet house don't always like being filmed, so we made it very brief. We kind of went on the side. But look, that's the human element right there. There's not all machines looking at this fruit. You have people touching it. Obviously, they had gloves on. They had smocks on. But they had everything on to make sure they incorporated that human element, and that way they know. And when they touch the fruit, is it firm? Is it not? You know, there's things in that. So pretty cool. But Ross, why don't we? I know you've got some updates. What are some of the market updates that you have for us?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're seeing a shortage of grapes out there right now, there's been some vessel delays causing a little bit of supply issues on grapes. So it's been hit and miss. Those markets are definitely elevated right now and look to be challenging for the next few weeks. You had Peru wrapping up. You've got some weather issues that impacted supplies in Chile and stuff. So a lot of things going on the grape market there. To your point, I've seen a lot of apples in ads. There's plenty of apples. I did have some Bell Harvest Sweet Tango and Smitten earlier this week. I've been enjoying some every day. Definitely going back and forth between the two. Been tasting really good. And then you're starting to see the lettuce markets kind of go up. So talking to a couple different people, yields have been down just due to weather that's been impacting the various growing regions from Yuma to Florida. And so demand really wasn't there. But now the demand has kind of picked up in recent times, and even bagged salads have really picked up. So the processors are looking for more raw product. That's taken a little bit of the pressure, or put some pressure on the fresh industry. So that's kind of up the lettuce markets. And, as we're starting to wrap up things in Yuma, Florida's still been kind of cold. So, they're hopeful with weather that's coming in right now. They'll improve some growing regions, but, things will start moving up to Salinas later in March, into the new growing regions. And then you've got Easter early April. So, could see some relief in a few weeks, or things could contain or be a little bit elevated until we go through Easter. So some things going on there. We'll be hitting transition out west on veggies. With broccoli, those usually go from the desert up to north. There may be some folks that have different regions. So we're starting to see some things move around. Guys, we're getting closer to spring. We are at the tail end of February here. So, we're moving into March really soon.
One thing I got to pull up is I saw this. Check this out. This is what you were just talking about, like where the lettuce market is and kind of where it moves to through Yuma and then up to Salinas. So definitely an interesting take on how it's moved. Every time I go through this, man, I feel like we're like meteorologists of fruit. Moving into the crop down in the desert, everyone, and then over to Arizona, we're going to have a lemon crop produced with high winds of romaine coming in. Yep, that's right, everyone. We have beets coming from the south.
Well, I mean, you also have onions that are going to be wrapping up here in the next 30 to 60 days on storage and moving into new crop out of Texas and Mexico and stuff. And we're coming up closer on springtime, so there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot of promotions, a lot of things going on. Listen, as we close this episode out, everyone, this is one thing. We have a lot of holidays on the horizon. We've got St. Patrick's Day, we've got Easter, right? We've got Memorial Day coming up.
Think about for you got the Strawberry Festival starting there in Plant City next week, so it's going to be all about Florida strawberries for a few weeks.
Bro, I lived there 5 years and I still haven't gone. So listen, I had someone call me from, what was it, Atlanta, and they're like, "Hey, if I come down, will you go to the Strawberry Festival?" I'm like, "I haven't even taken my wife to the Strawberry Festival." I'm like, no.
Maybe this year's the year. This year is the year.
I mean, maybe it is the year, but that's something we need to talk about. But that should be our next Fresh from the Field Fridays. We need to go over the entire Strawberry Festival. Maybe we'll do one more week. We'll leave Dan one more week off. But let's talk about this real quick. We're 2 weeks out from Southern Exposure.
Yes.
So, Mike, one thing, Mike, you
networking event, which,
man,
if you're not VIP, you don't know.
Yeah. If you're not going on that, if you're not signing up for that, yeah, who are you? No, we're excited, man. We're excited to be a sponsor. We're excited to be a part of that, yacht tour right before we jump off into SEPC the following day. It's going to be an event. I will tell you, it's going to be the who's who of produce. That's what I will say.
What do you think, Ross?
Looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of good industry folks, a lot of time spent chatting, getting to know people better, about their business and also about, people in life in general, getting to know people. I've had some people in town recently this week, and I've spent some time with them. And, this industry is still based heavily on relationships and networking and those kinds of things still add a ton of value to the industry. So by you taking the time and everything to put on an event like this, it just showcases the importance of that in the industry.
No, I appreciate that, man. And like I told David Sherrod of SCPC, listen, we're not taking away from SCPC. Our goal is to attract more to SCPC, bring more of the community together. So yeah, even as they're golfing in the morning of the 7th, I believe, we're going to be doing a self-defense jiu-jitsu seminar. And there's a lot of people that don't golf. So, hey, let's make it fun and have another networking lunch, right? And have some fun. I'm really excited for Southern Exposure. It is the top show for me. Mike knows this because when I went there in the first show I believe I went to in 2020, I went under that show as a volunteer for the International Pineapple Organization. That was my first year ever going to SEPC. And, now we're over 4 years later, and I'm telling you, like, the community, the quality of people, it's top notch. So I'm not saying I'm comparing it to any of the shows. What I say is I guess I make the best out of it. So looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the yacht party. We keep saying a tour. No, we are not giving a tour of a yacht. Okay. We're going out on the water. We're going to have some fun. It's my daughter's birthday, and everyone, again, as I always say, we're here to grow this industry together. So Mike, Ross, appreciate you coming on Fresh from the Field Fridays. Appreciate all your support in the industry.
The dads will be together in 2 weeks, so look for us in Tampa. Dads of Produce in Tampa, baby.
Yeah, follow us, tag us, do whatever. We'll see you there in Florida. We can't wait.
Look us up. Look us up. We'll be there. Book us for your next event.
There you
Book
go.
us for your next event. The Dads of Produce will come and cook shish kebabs, asparagus, and hamburgers. We got you. And listen, sometimes, mostly all the time, I come with amazing, colorful shoes on too. So the kids always love that. So yeah. Mike actually has a hidden talent. He does
balloon animals.
Balloon. How'd you know?
He knew. He knew my my superpower. Gosh darn it.
On that note, everyone, thanks for joining Fresh from the Field Fridays. We'll see you next week with Dan the Produce Man.